We spend a lot of time teaching children to be polite. We make them say please and thank you for everything. When they want or need a drink of water, we say, use your magic words. If we interrupt their play so that we can tie their shoelace, that dragging lace that's driving us absolutely bananas and not bothering them at all, we expect them to say thank you. When we offer them a cookie, we make them say thank you before we let go of that treat. We make our gift of a cookie dependent upon their expression of gratitude. Our kindness and generosity are conditional teaching tools. We don't miss many opportunities to indoctrinate our children with the protocol of please, thank you, and you're welcome. But we ourselves often fall short in our own expressions. Jesus didn't ask for much from the people he taught, fed, and healed. There were no medical bills, no guest check to pay as they left the spontaneous banquet, no tuition bills or student loans to compensate for his lectures. His only pay was in the satisfaction of seeing the appreciation of those he served. In our reading today, Jesus got stiffed on even that small bill. Only 1 out of 10 remembered to say thank you. None of the lepers had a problem asking for help. All of them honored the protocol of keeping a safe distance from the healthy people. But in their haste to get to the temple and be declared whole, that one last piece that allowed them back into society, only one remembered his manners and expressed his gratitude. Honestly, I have to admit I'm likely to fall into the 90% here. It's easy to say, please, 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 when we're praying for God's help with a serious problem. Please, dear God, please help my loved one recover from their illness. Please, please, please keep my loved ones safe as they serve in the military, or as they travel, or as they do their very dangerous job. But how often, when we receive that much desired answer to our prayer, do we remember to say thank you? I know there have been many times that my first reaction to exciting good news was, I can't wait to tell, instead of, thank you, God. Our gospel reading today is a reminder to give thanks, to be grateful for the extravagant care we receive continuously from our gracious and loving God. I think it's more than a reminder to use our magic words. I think it's also calling us to live in a state of gratitude, mindful of our blessings. Just like we teach our children to appreciate even the things that are necessities by saying please and thank you, we need to be grateful ourselves for having our basic needs met too. I read a book a few years ago by Masaru Emoto, a scientific researcher who studied the effects of words on water. In The Miracle of Water, he describes his research. Containers of water were labeled with words, some positive, some negative, then frozen, and the crystals that formed were photographed and studied. What he discovered is the purity or impurity of the water had far less effect on the crystals that were formed than the words which were used to label those containers. Positive words created orderly, balanced, aesthetically pleasing shapes. Negative words created chaotic, unpleasing forms. Can you guess the words which created the most beautiful crystals of all? Love and gratitude. He explains the effects by understanding vibration. Words create vibration. You can feel the vibration if you lightly touch your throat as you speak. On a molecular level, all the atoms in our bodies have an inherent vibrational pattern. The patterns of atoms can be influenced by other vibrations, including the vibration of words. The research demonstrated that language carries power to change physical states. power in our words. Please and thank you really are magic words. Love really does make the world go round, or at least makes the journey more beautiful as love acts upon the structures it encounters. Emoto suggested that we make a discipline of expressing love and gratitude toward others, but also toward the inanimate things we take for granted, such as the water we drink. He believes that by consciously appreciating the food and water we take into our bodies, we affect the components of our bodies. Since we are 70% or more water, and we are 100% chemicals, Emoto believes we will enhance our health and well-being by living in a state of gratitude and freely expressing both love and gratitude. Melody Beattie says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend." Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. 12-step programs teach gratitude as a practice leading to recovery. Listen to this quote from the book, More Language for Letting Go. "If someone has been kind, thank him or her today. Yes, we can wait and buy that person dinner next week, but how about writing an email this afternoon or leaving a message on a telephone answering machine telling how much you appreciate the kind words or deeds?" We cannot show gratitude without sharing it with someone. When we show our gratitude, it's a way of sharing our joy with that person. Even when we do something as simple as burning a candle to show gratitude to God, it shares our joy with everyone who sees the flame of the candle. It strengthens their faith and reminds them to show their gratitude too. Make showing and sharing your gratitude a part of your life. If someone does something nice for you, share your happiness with that person. Send a card or make a phone call. If you believe that a prayer has been answered by God, share your gratitude with God. Tell someone or thank God publicly at your worship service. If you've had a victory in your recovery, show your gratitude by sharing it with others in your group. Then share your gratitude with them for the help they've given too. Demonstrate gratitude in your actions every day. Gratitude is more than just a thought process and more than just a Sunday morning church activity. Demonstrate your gratitude through your compassion and your tolerance. Gratitude strengthens and supports our relationships with God and with other people. Make a commitment to show your gratitude by sharing it with others whenever you have the opportunity. We can show our gratitude for life in even our small actions. Find a way to demonstrate your gratitude to the universe. Feed the birds. Action gives life to ideas. When we start to look for ways to show our gratitude, we will find more and more to be grateful for. I'm sure that Jesus the man, the itinerant preacher, teacher, and healer, was in need of a little recognition, appreciation, and approval. After all, he gave and gave and gave of himself to others with very little compensation other than an occasional meal or perhaps a place to sleep at night. But I'm sure there was much more behind the public criticism of the 9 who did not thank him for their healing. It was a teachable moment, a chance to remind those around him of the importance of gratitude. Let's listen to a story of mindful living. I know some of you have seen this story. It has circulated around the internet several times. I recently received it in messages from both Michael and Carol. Even though I'd read it a couple of times before, I reread both their messages with joy because this story reminds us to be joyfully grateful. A 92-year-old, petite, well-poised, and proud man. I just realized the coincidence of that. Another 92-year-old, but ours isn't petite. He was fully dressed each morning by 8 o'clock, with his hair fashionably combed and shaved perfectly, even though he's legally blind. Moved to a nursing home. His wife of 70 years had recently passed, making the move necessary. After many hours of waiting patiently in the lobby of the nursing home, he smiled sweetly when told his room was ready. As he maneuvered his walker to the elevator, I provided a visual description of his tiny room, including the eyelet sheets that had been hung on his window. "I love it," he stated with the enthusiasm of an 8-year-old boy having just been presented with a new puppy. "Mr. Jones, you haven't even seen the room yet. Just wait." "That doesn't have anything to do with it," he replied. "Happiness is something you decide ahead of time. Whether I like my room or not doesn't depend on how the furniture is arranged. It's how I arrange my mind. I already decided to love it. It's a decision I make every morning when I wake up. I have a choice. I can spend the day in bed recounting the difficulties I have with the parts of my body that no longer work, or get out of bed and be thankful for the ones that do. Each day is a gift, and as long as my eyes open, I'll focus on the new day and all the happy memories I've already stored away, just for this time in my life. Old age is like a bank account. You withdraw from what you put in. So my advice to you would be to deposit a lot of happiness in the bank account of memories. And thank you for your part in filling my bank. I'm still depositing. A 92-year-old, blind, arthritic widow, unable to live alone in his home anymore, living a life of gratitude, choosing happiness regardless of his circumstances. Whether this is purely fictional or whether it's based on the story of an actual person doesn't matter. What matters is how we receive and respond to the wisdom in this story. The motivations of the 9 healed people who did not stop to thank Jesus don't matter. What matters is, were the people who heard Jesus' reminder to be grateful transformed? Are we being transformed? Will we add gratitude to our intentional lives, along with loving God and loving our neighbor? If Masaru Emoto is correct, we can change the world with our love and our gratitude. And isn't that what Jesus is calling us to do? May we be mindful of our blessings and of the source of those good gifts. May we continuously express our gratitude to the God from whom all blessings flow, in rivers of living water, sustaining